right. Hello, 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 hello. Hold on. Make sure I'm still good here. Cool. How's everybody going? Huh? YouTube's again. Tried something different tonight with the jam. I just added a different camera to the setup, so I wanted to try doing a picture-in-picture and trying different angles. It'd be nice if I had somebody here to switch cameras, then I could do some really cool stuff, but I can't do everything, so... Yeah, Ben, thank you very much. Yeah, the tone, I'm really digging this Telecaster. It's really the patch that I'm using right now is really set up for this guitar, and it doesn't have a lot of gain on it, but it's still nice driving type of rock and roll sound. So you still get that spank, you know. So anyway, let me put this guy away for a second and then say hi to some folks. That right there. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Okay, settle in for a little bit and do something different. It's episode 41, folks. 41. Next week is the final episode of the year for me as far as Monday night Ramble goes. And so that'll be episode 42. So I will have gotten to 42. If I make it to next week, you know, you can't tell what the future is. And so don't assume anything until you get there. But anyway, if I do make it the next Monday, then it'll be episode 42. 42 episodes this week or this year. Started in mid-February, streaming my own show on Monday nights, and well, it's been an interesting ride, I can tell you that much. I was watching episode 1 and 2 and 3 just this week, just going back, just looking at some clips, just kind of looking back at the year, and man, those first few shows were pretty rough. I was trying to do a lot of stuff, and I wasn't very comfortable in front of a camera, so my job is to be in back of the camera, running all the equipment, doing all the technical aspects of it, doing the editing and everything else. So actually sitting in front of a camera hosting something is a lot different skill set, let's say. But I'm happy I did it, and I seem to be getting a little bit more comfortable as I'm watching some of the newer shows from the old ones. Now it's just a matter of creating content that's cool for everybody and, you know, trying to find time to do everything. All right, let me see who's in here tonight. We've got Zach. Zach Thong was in here very early. I don't know if he's still here, but he was in here like way before the stream even started. So welcome to Mr. Zach if you're here. Let me push this graphic here. Do that. December 9th. Man, Christmas is just around the corner, folks. Christmas is just around the corner. And let me just get some stuff set up here. Cool. Joe Hervey, more metal. Well, it wasn't metal, but it was still rock and roll. AC/DC's awesome. I love that band. Ben Coombs, how are you doing? You know, Ben's got a show after me at 8 o'clock, so everybody tune in. Tuned into his show last night with Reno Finn guitars. Really cool. Upside Down, how are you? Nice to see you. I don't know how you did that name Upside Down. I'm looking at it and I got it after a while, but then, man, kudos to you, brother. Smart. Chuck Booth, how you doing, Chuck? CN 8800. That's my buddy John. How's it going, John? John was at a pawn shop this weekend and he's found a few amps that he was looking at. Sent me the links. It was Mesa Boogie. What the hell was it called? It was a 45 something. So cool amps. I've never tried that one, so I can't really give you insight on whether it's good or not. But price wise, they were close. I would have probably gone down a little bit from there. They were asking $699 for it, and I think it was a 212 combo. So I'd probably try to get it for $550 around. Probably be fair if you're looking to get one of those. And let me, R2, what's going on, R2? Hope you were jamming along, R2. I know R2 usually plays his guitar when he's watching. So he went to grab a beverage. Awesome. Brian S., what's going on? Hope you're enjoying your new PRS and whatever else you got new, because it seems every week that Brian S. gets a new guitar or something. He's way worse than I am, folks. So check out Brian S.'s channel. I know he's done a few premieres this week, and he was showing off the new PRS. Don't do the premieres. Go live. You don't worry about how it sounds playing wise. Just play it, and the mic will pick it up and all that stuff. I'd rather you go live. These premieres, you can't interact with somebody the same way. So that's just my 2 cents. I'm sorry. I shouldn't. I'm preaching to him. It's Monday night and I'm preaching. It's pretty bad. It was raining here all day too. It was crazy. I got off work around 1, I think. Just left early, so I had to go pick up some stuff at the local, they call it VizTech, which is a camera store in my area where I work. So I needed to go pick up some accessories for a production I'm doing on Wednesday. So got out at 1, but it was pouring rain out there. Let me see. 6 strings and 10 fingers is in here. How's it going? Janice Lala's here for a little bit. Awesome. Nice to see you jumping in. I'm tapping my foot along. The guitar I'm holding is in D. Well, you can still play it. Just find your notes under that tuning. You can still play an A. That song's mostly an A. It's like 4 chords, I think, that whole song. It's an awesome song, though. I like it. And that wasn't AC/DC, by the way. That was, what is the name of that band? It's called Tyranna Rockers. And the album is Sex Dealer. Weird, eh? They did a cover of that song. Sounds exactly like very close to what AC/DC sounds like as far as the tone and the singing and everything. I had to play that one because when I did the search of YouTube music policies, the AC/DC one said it was blocked in some countries, and then I checked, had different versions of that same song, and that one from this band said it was okay to play. So took a chance, and right now should be all right. I'll probably get a copyright anyway, but as long as it doesn't block it or take down the stream, then I'm happy. Brian says, I just spent 90 minutes detuning a Floyd from E to D. Kill me now. I don't know how you guys with Floyds do it. I don't think I've got the patience to deal with a Floyd. Never did. Chicken Guitar says, shh, I'm playing hide and seek with my daughter. I'm hiding. She's over here. She's over here. If you got your speakers on, she'll come running down. Well, let's see. Who else do we've got here? Look behind the couch. Nice. 131 is in here. Hello, hello. Somehow the blues jam music hasn't given me away yet. Yeah, that intro stuff. I just got a bunch of songs that I got from that Epidemic Sound website where I get some copyright-free music, just songs like that. Just they're not really from any artist or anything like that. It's just people that record that. And you can use that music in video. So I kind of have a bunch of them, and I just run them for my intros. Something to do while the stream is getting ready to start. James Severin, how's it going? I hope you're enjoying that new Les Paul. You got a new Les Paul this week, James did. 2001, I'm going to say. Really cool. She found me. Oh, well. You can't win them all, chicken. Can't win them all. Pretty sure it's illegal to play this on the telly. Well, it's not illegal to play on that telly. I'll tell you that much. I can get AC/DC tone out of that thing all day long. Not a problem. Let's see. Gibson. Yeah, Gibson trademark, right? All right, so stupid thing jumped on me a bit, but I think I can make my way down here. There we go. Just found my spot again, and I think I've got everybody. Music Therapy Laz is in here. What's going on? Brad Miller. He's still in the car, but he's almost home. Hurry up and get home, brother. Don't want you driving and listening because I don't want to be the cause of an accident or something crazy. I'd rather you be in at home. Okay. Hank Hill, what's going on, Hank? Nice to see you. Paul Lou, Telly sounded great, thank you. Are you running everything through a mixer to get the backing tracks on? Yes, I run, on that track, I'm just going right from my phone into the mixer, and then I adjust my levels accordingly using the mixer. So my guitar goes through the interface, it has its own channel, and then I can balance that out. And everything's going through my in-ears. So then in my in-ears, I can, can adjust whatever volumes. But yeah, it's best practice if you're doing this type of stuff. You want to play the guitar, you want to put some backing tracks, you want everything to sound, kind of equal. It's best to do it through some sort of mixer or an interface of some sort that you have control over separate channels. That's your best bet right there. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. And Paul, okay, cool. I think I've got everybody. And again, if you've got a question or something, just tag me and then I'll definitely see it. DR Guitars, what's going on? Floyds aren't difficult, just fiddly. Yeah, they probably are. It's just I'm not a big Floyd guy. And I say that, and every time I play a guitar that has a trem on it, I'm always on the trem. I guess it's because I don't have one. And when I did have the Friedman Strat, it had one, and I would, every time I played it, I would always reach for it because it was there. But I'm not a big trem guy, so I don't know. Going full Floyd Rose with the locking tuners and all that stuff, I don't know. Hank Hill says, my first guitar was a Floyd because I thought it would be necessary. Ended up selling it a month later for a hardtail. Yeah, that's, some people like them. It's not for everybody, I guess. Jerry Cantrell is doing a show with AC/DC. Oh, really? AC/DC is doing a new album, apparently. I don't know when it's going to be out, but they've got Brian Johnson's back in there, and they've got, what's his name? Phil Rudd. He's back in. So, yeah, it should be cool. As long as the guys can still do it, and I'm sure they can. They've always done it. I've got a great podcast voice. Do you ever do them? No, you know what? When podcasts first started back in, like, I'm talking early days, like probably mid 2000s, I did a tech one just for fun, just to kind of get used to the technology and understand how podcasts work and how you publish them. And I did a few that way, and it was all right. But this is a lot like a podcast, what I'm doing tonight. And if I wanted to, I could actually be recording this and just separate the audio from it and release it as a podcast. But, sometimes there's a lot of visuals if I'm showing something or demoing something, so it doesn't really work well for a podcast. So haven't really gone down that road yet, but, it's something in the future that I might look into if people are interested and if I've got something to say instead of just rambling on like we do. So definitely. Well, thank you for the comment anyway, Hank. Much appreciated. Yeah, we've got Phil Mosley is in here, I think. I saw Phil. How's it going, Phil? Phil's going on tonight as well. 9 o'clock usually. Hope he's having a good week. Once a Floyd is set up, it's great. Just takes a little changing tunings. Yeah, well, I don't know. I might get one someday just to have one in the rotation. It's nice when you record to have that if you want to, do something with a solo and you really want to have a Floyd there. But right now I'm okay without it. Chicken Guitars says, if you were a cereal, what flavor would you be? That's a good question. Fruit Loop. I'm kind of a Fruit Loop, so maybe that. I always liked Fruit Loops when I was a kid, and even as an adult when I was still eating sugar. Fruit Loops were kind of my favorite cereal. So I hope that answers your question. Let's say it did. Yeah, Hank, they're supposed to come out AC/DC with a new album in 2020, so it should be cool. Floyd guitar, cool. Do you film your own covers? They are killer. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I film my own covers. So basically what I do is I don't sing, or I haven't really sung that much before. I've done it a few times. I should do it more because I'm having like I'm recording some stuff, and I'll talk about some of the recording I did on the weekend here. Kind of the topic of the night is writing music, and I'm kind of putting my original stuff together now. I had planned to release maybe an EP by the end of the year, but I'm not going to be able to do it. So it's going to be mid 2020 by the time I release something. But trying to find a singer to sing those songs has been kind of a challenge because I'm not really a singer, but I might have to do it because if I can't find anybody, I might have to just, start to practice and hopefully do something with that. But yeah, I do film my own. I just record all the tracks and then I perform them and I film different angles. Then I bring it in just to make some more interesting visuals. But yeah, they're fun to do. I got to do another one soon. I haven't done. The last one I did, I think, was Fantasy by Aldo Nova. I think was the last one I did. But there's a few more on the list that I wanna tackle there soon. Monday night triple threat. Yeah, you get Brian, Ben, and Phil, one after the other. So hang on tight. Fruit Loops are good. Rice Krispie for Brian S. What's everybody else's cereal of choice? I don't think we get Fruit Loops over here. I haven't tried them, but I've seen some places that import them. Yeah, Phil. Well, if you like kind of sugary type of sweet taste, they are very sweet. That's for sure. Oh, didn't drink my coffee earlier, so I'm trying to get a little coffee in. That's the one thing. I never drank coffee in all my life. I've never drank coffee, and I started about just a little bit over a year ago now. I started drinking coffee, and I had a hard time at first. I couldn't drink it because I didn't like the taste. I always liked the smell of coffee, but I never drank it because I just never liked the taste. Then I started, I started giving it more of a try. And at first I was to drink coffee, I had to do like triple, triple cream, triple sugar. It was crazy, man. People would look at me like, what are you doing? You're nuts. But after a few months getting used to it, then I started doing double, and now I just do one sugar and one cream. So then I'm good with that. I could probably take away the sugar now and be okay, but I don't eat a lot of sugar at all because I'm on that keto diet, and I have been on that keto diet for 17 months, I think now. And yeah, it's made the world a difference for me health-wise, that's for sure. But I have very little sugar, so one sugar in my coffee, that's about it, and very little other than that. But but it's good. I've adjusted after the first month of being on that diet. I started to lose a lot of the cravings. I ate chocolate a lot, like every day in my life. I ate chocolate, and I started to lose the craving of that after about they say about 3 weeks to a month. That's what it takes to get something out of your system, like a habit, or to break a habit or something. And that's what it did for me when I did that. So I'm sticking with it because some of the health issues I was having were pretty serious. And after having done this diet, the first couple of months, and all those symptoms started to disappear, and now they're all completely gone. And that's all I did. That's all I changed was the diet. I didn't take any medications. I didn't do anything different, just that. And then all these pretty serious health problems that I was starting to have are all gone. So made me a believer. So that's why I'm sticking with it. Brian, the band American is great. What is the band American? Not sure. Honey Oats and Honey Nut and Oat Boomers need the fiber. Yeah, I'm sure. I never tried that one though. Eddie Van Askel's in here. What's going on? Gary Tholander's in here. Nice. Nice to see everybody. All right, so what do you say we do some news? Let's see if I can queue up my first story of the day here. And you know how that goes. We have to put our little news thingy like that. And we'll do this. I guess I can take off this this graphic. Man, that's loud. I don't know if it's loud for you guys, but in my headphones, when that news clip item comes up, it's like, Jesus. Give it a break, brother. Let's see if I can bring that up. Cool. All right. Let's get to some news. What do you say? Hey, Guitar Hack. What's going on? Let's see. We've got, so at this day in music, we always do a couple of stories from this day in music. This day in 1967, we've got a story on the Doors. And the Doors appeared in New Haven Arena back on this day, 1967. And I guess the story about that show or this, event, the police found Jim Morrison making out with an 18-year-old girl backstage in the shower. And I guess they had a huge argument. And the police sprayed mace in Morrison's face. And this is before the concert starts, so you can see where this is going. Apparently there was a big, to-do about it. But anyway, they separated the people and they let Morrison go on stage and do his show. So once on stage, Morrison tells the story about what happened backstage and starts taunting the police. And of course, you know what happens next. The crowd goes insane. They riot, leaving the venue in disarray. And many people were arrested, apparently. Later, over 100 protesters gathered at the police station in demonstration, and a few more arrests were made. So this day back in 1967, another Doors legend, I guess, story, event, whatever you want to call it. But they were pretty, they were definitely Jim Morrison wasn't a stranger to that type of event or behavior, let's say. But yeah, so interesting story for 1967, the Doors. And I think I read something about that as well, about the whole riot thing. And there might have been a few events with Jim that happened like that, because to me, I think I've heard a few times that they've had issues with cops and security, and then getting the crowd all riled up about it and starting all kinds of mayhem at the concerts. So that was this day in 1967, folks. We were talking about AC/DC a little earlier, and today we see that Back in Black got certified 25 times platinum in the U.S. today. So they've sold 25 million copies just in the States alone, and that makes them 25 times platinum. And the cool thing about Back in Black was it was such a huge album for me anyway. Like, I got into music really. Kiss Alive was that album that really sparked something in me to take an interest in music to that level where I was actually considering learning an instrument and pursuing it as, something more serious. But I think for me, more than Kiss, that Back in Black album, when I heard it the first time, was the first time that musically, like, Kiss for me was more the whole spectacle. The music was something that I got into, but it was more of the whole package. It was that spectacle, the makeup, the characters. As a kid, you're drawn to that. It was fantasy. There was something about it. So that drew me into the music thing. But I had a friend that had an older brother, and he had a lot of albums, and we'd go hang out at his house, and the older brother would play these albums for us. We were just kids, right? So in 1980 or whatever, I think it was 80 that this album came out, Back in Black, I would have been 11 years old, about. And he would play us these albums, and when he played this one, it really stuck with me. I was like super drawn to this album for some reason as soon as I heard it, and then that was really the spark that put it in me that I need to find more about guitar. I need to get into a band. That's what really, really got me started with that stuff. So I have a real connection with that album. And so Back in Black is actually the second best all-time album, just behind Michael Jackson's Thriller album. And I think it's sold about 44 million worldwide since its release. So super huge thing for AC/DC, and such a great album. I mean, unbelievable. And it's funny that album never, I think the top charts that it got to, as far as like Billboard or whatever, back in the day when it was released, I think was 34 or number 35 in the rock charts or something like that, which is weird because it became such a huge album after the fact. And then when they released For Those About to Rock, that one went to number 1 on the rock charts, and then people started to come back and see what this band was about, and they discovered Back in Black, and Back in Black blew up even more. So very interesting. But such a cool album. And so we've talked about AC/DC. So on a sad note, yesterday marked the 15th anniversary of Dimebag Darrell's death. So I think a lot of us that are into music, that follow, metal especially, Pantera, remember this day. This was, like I said, 15 years ago, that a gunman went into a club where the band was playing. I think uh, he was playing with his band Damageplan. He wasn't playing with Pantera when he got shot, I believe. And yeah, it was with Damageplan, and a freaking guy, a crazy guy, was in the audience and walked up on stage with a gun, shot him, and I believe he shot one of the techs as well, and probably I think there was some other people that got hurt during that whole event. But it was pretty striking to see that could happen. Like security back then, I don't know, like there's probably something that sparked that whole, like 15 years ago, maybe in a bar or a club, they didn't really search you that much, and this guy walked in with a freaking handgun and bang, he walked right up to the stage and started shooting, which is pretty devastating. But yeah, what a great guitarist too. And he wasn't your traditional guitarist, like where he took a bunch of lessons and had a real like technique that was, like, he liked blues, he liked rock and all that stuff, but his soloing and all that stuff really wasn't around scales and so forth. He really did a lot of stuff by whatever he felt was right, and he had a picking technique that was pretty unique for a guitarist of that nature. And he definitely had his own sound, his own style. When you hear a Dimebag riff or lead or something like that, you can really tell it's his own thing. But what a character. I watched a lot of documentaries with Dime, and such a crazy guy. And he seemed like such a fun guy, too. He was always joking and had a great smile, and, really, really cool guy. Sad that he's gone, and sad that he went the way he did. But he went, on stage doing what he loved the best. And I don't think he would have had it any other way, knowing what he was all about in life. So, yeah, so that was 15 years ago. And that was, yesterday. It was December 8th that it happened. But I just figured I'd talk about it tonight, because I was a huge Pantera fan. I liked their sound and some of the songs they did, that how tight it was, and the riffs. Something about that band really, really was cool. And in other news, I'm still on the hunt for that Gibson Les Paul Custom. I have been looking around. I've gotten some leads from some of you folks. Have sent me some leads that you guys have found really good. Brian Stewart sent me one last week that I almost pulled the trigger on. It was a really good deal, but it's from the States. You can't really play these things. You got to take a chance. And it was, by the time you did the brokerage and the shipping and the tax and all this stuff, it was starting to add up, and I just didn't do it. So I started, I kept looking around. I'd like to find one in my area that I can actually go. And so this one here that I found is actually in my area. It's in Toronto, and it's a music store in Toronto. Problem is that it's downtown Toronto, and I'm not downtown, and to go downtown is always a big friggin' deal, because you got to deal with all the traffic and parking and all this other stuff. So it's not as easy as just getting in your truck and going to check out a guitar. You've got to kind of plan a day around it to do it. So I might do that. I did call them, and this price that they're advertising here, believe it or not, it's advertised at $5,000 less on their site. So they've already brought it down. They just haven't adjusted the price on this Reverb page, but they have on their website. So I'm curious. It's a 2014. It looks like it's in really good condition. It's a Les Paul Custom. Obviously, it's from the custom shop, and it's exactly the color I want. And from everything I've seen here, there's a few little scuff marks, which, I'm fine with that if it's an older guitar. If I'm buying brand new, obviously I want it to be mint, mint, mint. With any issues and any marks that I put on it, it'll be me. But if I find, an older one, then I'm not too concerned with, like, see, there's some scratches there. It sucks that it's there, but it's not It's not a deal breaker if the price is right. And there's the serial numbers. The top looks really good. There's no scratches that I can see really. There's probably a few nicks and stuff that we can't see in the picture, but it's not that bad. What a beautiful guitar. So anyway, this one is close, well, close enough to me that I can go and try it. So maybe this weekend. The other thing that I'm trying to debate on is even if I went to try this guitar on the weekend and I really liked it and I pulled the trigger on it, the thing is I will be at NAMM in January. So mid-January I'll be in California, and one of the things I wanted to do in California was go to places like Norm's and some other places that have, guitars, and see if there's something there that I might, find that I really like and maybe strike a deal, or who knows, right? So I'm kind of on the fence about pulling the trigger right now on something, but it's so weird because I could say that and then go to California and there's nothing there that's really affordable for me to get, and then get back here and say I want to get this one and it's already gone. That happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I found one that I was almost ready to pull the trigger on and I didn't do it, and within a couple of days it was gone. So this might be the same situation here. So it's one of those things. You just got to balance it out and figure, like, I'm not in a huge rush, but I do want one, and I want one at a good deal. I don't want to overspend for it. So we'll see. So the hunt is still on, and this is the latest one. Again, this price is about $5,000 less on the website. So it'd be about $3,400, I think. I could get it for, and I could probably talk him down a little bit more too. I tried to get him to do a trade for my Sir, but he doesn't do trades with Sirs and Friedmans. He just does only PRS, Fender, Gibson, Ibanez. So your kind of brand names is what he deals with, vintage as well. So no go on that one. So let me go back to my camera. I think that covers our news items for the night. Let me go back here. Let me pull that down. Cool. All right, and let's go to this thing here. See what's there. Gary Tholander ask. Let's see. Oh, and I don't want that. Trying to run my system. See, that's why I need this person to be here and do some camera switching and graphics and what I do for a living. For other folks, I need to clone myself to be sitting and running all the equipment while me can host the show. So if you have any ideas around how to clone yourself, that'd be awesome. Maybe someday. So Gary Tholander, here he goes. He puts his comment here. If you go to Norm's, bring your gold card. Yeah, I don't know what the prices are at Norm's. Funny thing, I went to Norm's website, and I can probably check now, but it doesn't work. Like when you click on guitars, it says error or something. So let me just see here. Norman's Rare Guitars. I went the other day just to look around and see if they had any listings, and I wanted to know what the prices were. So I'll show you what happens. Watch, it'll probably work now that we're live. Let me go here. Let me do this. So here's Norm's website. So if I go to the electric. Oh, okay. No, see, this is what happens. Sorry you couldn't find anything matching your search. Try removing filters, but I don't have any filters on. I just put all. So even if I can't even select anything in condition. Most recent, price, low to high. Does that work? No, see. So there's something wrong with their site. I'm not able to load any listings for some reason. But yeah, I heard that it's not cheap if you're going to go shopping at Norm's, but I figure what the hell, 6-figure, Brian, just buy it if you can afford it. Yeah, I know. Upside down, it's just one of those things. I want to make sure this is a big deal guitar for me. I want to make sure it's the right one. So that's why I'd like to go somewhere where I can actually put it in my hands and try it and see it. I think white one, it's James Severin. Yeah, I'm not opposed to the white one, but it's just my preference is the black with the white binding. And I figure if I'm going to get one, I'm going to get exactly what I want as far as, their first choice. If somebody gave me a white one, I'd take it, no problem, because I don't mind them. I like the look of them and everything, but it's just that black one to me is kind of the one that I'm looking at. Brian Stewart says he was thinking about selling his standard for an RO. Yeah. But an RO is going to be a lot more money than your standard, I think. I don't know what an RO goes for if you can find one used. Probably about that $5,000 mark. I would think maybe a little bit less in the area that you're in, Brian, in the States. I don't know. But they are nice. They're beautiful guitars. Let's see. You're going to do the PRS against the Cali, and then the Cali is going to go on the block. Oh. Well, sometimes you got to move some stuff, you just, and that's the fun thing about this hobby or this thing that we're into. I would love to keep everything and have a bunch of all kinds of things. It's just that sometimes it's just not really realistic in the situation that we're all in different situations. And for me, if it comes down to selling something or trading something for something else, it changes every couple of months or every year or something. You want to try something different, and that's the best way to do it. The only one that I'm really, really, really attached to, let's be completely honest, in my collection is that R9. That would be pretty hard of me to sell or trade or anything like that. It would be kind of a last, I lost my job. I don't have money for food or anything. It'd be one of those things if I needed to get rid of that. But you can't get too attached to the thing. They're just guitars at the end of the day. So, but they are nice to have. Let's see. Ben says there's a great guitar show in Orange County during NAMM weekend. Yeah, guitar shows are cool, but again, the stuff that I'm looking at, if I'm looking at a Les Paul custom, I'm sure guitar shows are going to be asking top dollar for them unless you get lucky. But I'm open to checking all kinds of stuff out. If I can find somewhere that has, guitars that I'm looking at, I'll go. Brad Miller says your wife has blocked that site. Yeah, she might have blocked the site. You are not wrong, Brad Miller, because I don't know. Does it work for you guys? If you guys go to Norman's Rare Guitars and click on electric, what if I click on basses? Does that work? Bass guitar? No, there's something wrong with their site. Unless there's something on my end that's being blocked, I wouldn't be surprised. During NAMM was comical. I'm not sure what that is. Chick. Okay. Black shows everything, James Severin. Yeah, I know. That's one downside of having a black anything. I've had black motorcycles. I've had black cars. That's one thing. You have to, if you want to keep it in pristine shape, it's a little harder because every ding or every piece of dust shows up on black without, you just look at it. But I'm okay with that. It's just that black custom for me is kind of ingrained in my head as one of the three, like when your holy trinity of Les Pauls, it's sitting in there. So it's hard to get out of my head, I guess. Chicken Guitars says, I told my husband I'm a professional YouTuber now, so all the gear is research and development costs. That's the face he made. Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't think I'll get away with that either. If I said that to my wife, I'd have to tell her that the companies are actually sending me free gear to review and something like that. But that wouldn't go far as soon as she checked the bank account. She said, "What the hell is this? $2,000 gone from the savings to go to Cosmo Music or whatever." So I don't think I'd get away with it. R9 I would go hungry for, James Severin. Yeah, me too, probably. It would take a lot to get me to part with that one. I'd keep the custom shop if I had to sell all of them but one, mainly because a Les Paul 7.5 pounds, kind of rare and comfy. Yeah, that Les Paul you have, Brian Stewart, is really nice. And Les Pauls are guitars like Les Pauls and Tellys and things like that. They're not hard to sell if you need to sell them. I mean, hard. When I say hard, they're easier, I guess, to sell than some boutique stuff or no-name stuff or whatever. For some reason, folks just... Like I have that Sir guitar, the Telly, and I just put it up for sale. I put it on Kijiji, which is a local classified here in my area. I put it up on Friday, and I haven't received one hit. And in the past, when I've listed a Les Paul or a Strat or whatever it is that I had that I was trying to get rid of, within a couple of days, I was getting offers from either an offer or somebody wanted to trade something for it or whatever. But when I put up a Friedman or a Sir, for some reason, it's in this market that I'm in, it's not a quick sell. I don't know if people aren't familiar enough with them that are looking at these classified sites. They're looking for a guitar. I don't know, because I know they're very popular guitars. Sir is like, a known name in the guitar community, and so is Friedman. So I don't know why they're looked at that way. But so Brad Miller says it works for you. That is so weird. I don't know why. Well, maybe the gods above us said, no, Brian, you're not going in there. They know me too well, and their Norm's site works for me. Look at that. All you guys saying that the website is working. On the website, you have to choose new or use on the menu. Yeah, I did that. So let's see. Electric. Let me go to used. Click on used. See, it's loading up. And no, nothing. It just goes. Well, I'll prove it to you. Look. I go here. I go to the menu. I go to used. I click on used. And it'll load up. Or will it? Let me go to new. So I go to new, and it looks like it's going to load up the images, and then it does this. And then I get nothing. And if I go to electric, nothing. Go to used, nothing. So, see, I'm not lying. Somebody out there is watching and saying, nope, you are not getting anything at Norm's. Oh, well. That's just the way it is, folks. Brad Miller says 1976 white Les Paul custom 5900. Yeah, 5900 US. So you might as well say 10,000 Canadian, and as far as that goes. Only one they had. Try a different browser. Yeah, I could do that. I'll try the Safari browser later. I just don't want to load, because right now I'm running everything that you see here. I'm running my interface, my Helix, this streaming software, 4 cameras going into the computer via the network, graphics, email, everything on this laptop, on a basic laptop. Well, it's a Mac, a MacBook Pro. It's last year's model, which is, fairly loaded, but it's a lot. So if I load up another browser on top of this, it's asking a lot of it. So I'll do that after. I don't want to risk, the computer failing and then the stream is gone. Yeah, let me see here. What else we got? Try a different browser. Yeah, try. Well, I'm using Google Chrome. I don't know what you guys are using. A lot of people use Chrome. I don't know why it wouldn't work on Chrome. But whatever. It's a sign from above, folks. I'm a true believer of that. Well, if you guys get it to work, type in Gibson Les Paul Custom and look for a black one and let me know if they have one and tell me what the price is. Go live, Brian. It's easy, he says. It is easy. You do it all the time. Just do the same thing you do when you go with live wires. Just load up, is it StreamYards? Yeah, load up StreamYards and just hit go live and let her rip, brother. Whatever happens, happens. I tend to throw a lot of complexities in my setup for some reason. It's part of my job, so I find myself trying to push some limits to see how far I can go on my own. So at least when I go back to the studio and I'm doing a production for my work, which are not as complicated as what I'm doing even here, then I feel like, oh, well, if I can do this and I go to work and they're asking me to do this thing, which is a webinar or something like that, which is a lot more simple, then I don't stress about it. I just, oh yeah, it's nothing, no problem. Norms didn't work for me on the iPad. So some people it doesn't work for. So I don't know. Must be something. Salut, BV Ninja. Go to Norm's shop on Reverb. Okay, so here's the other thing with Reverb and Norms. I go there and I just get like t-shirts and stuff. So either I'm totally stupid about navigating Reverb, but if I go Norm's Norman's Rare Guitars in shops, and I click that, And, okay. 175 listings, but it's all like t-shirts. Look, I'll show you. Look, that's what I get when I go to Norm's Rare Guitars Reverb Shop. Am I just not doing something right here? Let me go to highest price high to low, so maybe I'll get guitars at that point. No, see, look, it's all shirts. What the hell? Where's the guitars? I don't know. I give up. Norms does not want me to buy anything from them, I guess. I'm banned from Norms. I am banned from Norms, folks. You are searching for... Yeah, right. Chicken guitars. I'm searching for guitars, not guitars. That's a good one. That's a good one. Can I post a link, Brian? Yeah, you can post a link. I don't know. It might ask me to approve it here, and I will. Or one of my mods here can. I think Ben's a mod, and if I can make... I think R2 was in here. He's a mod, too. I don't know. Sometimes people try to post a link, and it doesn't work. Norman's Rare Guitars website, I got the same thing you got, Brian. So some people get it to load up, no problem, and some people can't. So maybe the people that can't are already banned from his site because they know that it could be trouble. They don't have any black customs anyway. Okay. Well, I'm surprised that they don't have them because if anywhere you'd think you'd find that, it would be at Norm's. But they have one at Carter's. I saw one there for $12,000. But I'm not going to do that. Don't put shop in the Reverb home screen, then search Norm Rare Guitars. Okay. Well, that's what it says. It just says Norm's Rare Guitars. It doesn't say shop. It just says Norm Rare Guitars. Let me try again. Copy that. And do this. Do that. Norman's Rare Guitars. Okay. Let's see if that works. And nope. Still getting stupid shirts. Not that they're stupid shirts, but it's just I'm not looking for a shirt. Sorry, folks. It is what it is. I'm not supposed to be in Norms. I got to stay away from Norms. They probably don't stay in there long. Yeah, the Les Paul Customs probably sell pretty quick. I don't see any guitars either, just shirts and stuff. Maybe because we're not in the U.S. Could be. Anything to do with USA. I can't pull it. See, so even R2 can't pull up the site. So there you go. It's not just me. I posted the link. Well, it's not showing up in here. R2, do you see a link that's posted by Gary Tholander? Because I don't see it showing up. Or I think Lefty Mike wanted to post a link as well, but I'm not seeing the links. Oh, hold on. Maybe I'm in the top chat. What an idiot. All right, let me see if I... Okay, guys. Oh, you're doing story time, Chicken Guitars? Okay. Yeah, I'll be off probably when because it's 7:53, so I'll be gone at 8 so Ben can do his show. And yeah, so I'll wish you a good night, Chicken Guitars. Have a great week if I don't talk to you before the end of the week, before next show. So before everybody leaves here, let's just say next week is the final show of the year for Monday Night Ramble. I will be doing a pedal giveaway next week. So if you're interested in winning a pedal, I don't know what pedal that'll be because I have to go and buy it. I will go to the store this week and pick something out. Probably be an overdrive, distortion, something like that. These seem to be the most popular. Here, let's do this before everybody takes off. Type 1 in the chat if you want it to be an overdrive pedal. Type 2 if you want it to be some sort of modulation pedal that I give away next week. And I'll wait a few seconds here to see how many. So 1 for overdrive distortion, 2 for modulation, delay, that type of thing. That way I'll go to the store this week and buy one. And we'll give it away next week as the final show of the year as far as Monday Night Ramble goes. Oh, okay. I saw the link there. There we go. Okay, so we've got one. That's overdrive, distortion. Keep typing 1. Looks like overdrive. I figure overdrive, distortion are probably the most popular ones to give away. Oh, Gary's got a 2. Live Wire's 1. and everybody's going to be able to win. So it doesn't matter where you are around the world. Just show up next Monday, and we'll have some sort of a contest or something, a draw of some sort. 3. There's no 3. What's 3? A looper? Oh God. Now it looks like the overdrives are winning, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be some sort of overdrive or a distortion pedal. In my opinion, that's probably where we're going to end up, which is fine. There's a 3. What is this 3? What is 3? Good Lord. So far it's 1. So if everything sticks at 1 here, I think it's going to be an overdrive pedal for next week. So that's happening next Monday, 7 o'clock. Be here. And what else is happening? The topic of this week was writing music. We didn't really touch too much on it because we got into a whole bunch of other stuff, which is usually the case. The reason I put writing music was because that's what I was doing this weekend. And I was just, yesterday was a writing session that didn't go well for me. I just could not come up with anything that I really liked, that really, I did something last week and I finished kind of the drums on it, and I did some stuff on the weekend to finish up that one, which I'm really happy with that song. But I wanted to start a new one, and I was trying some different ideas and some different vibes and stuff, and I just, at the end of the day, I just wasn't happy with anything, so I kind of scrapped it, and I'll start again. I'll do something else this week. And it's one of those things when you're writing music, it's not something like, sometimes I'll set aside a day or an afternoon and I'll come into the studio and I'll say, okay, now I'm just going to sit and start to write and start to work on ideas and try to compose. But sometimes I find that that's so hard. If you're not feeling it, I had to kind of step away. So I was getting a little frustration. So you'll see in the picture of the thumbnail and the picture I posted on my Instagram and stuff where I'm holding Les Paul screaming. That was my frustration with myself yesterday, that I just could not, put something down and record it and start an idea. So sometimes I just can't plan that stuff. I can be sitting around and not even in the studio, and I'm like, okay, I've got something that's coming. So then I come into the studio and it all comes together very naturally. But sometimes it's just like when you actually plan to do a writing session and just it's almost forced, it doesn't work for me anyway. So that was the whole story about writing music, and we were going to have a little discussion on how you guys approach writing music. If you do write your own music, what works well for you and what doesn't. But I guess we can do that discussion maybe a little bit next week. And if I do go live, I might go live again this week. I did a live show last Thursday at 9 o'clock, which was a lot of fun. Not a planned show, and it was a lot of fun. So maybe if I do something again like that this week, we can discuss more about how we approach writing music and some of the best experiences and some of the worst, I guess. But I was so frustrated yesterday with it. I was just about to throw the guitar out the window at that point. That's the face making scales. Practicing scales is fun, but at some point it just gets. It's you got to do it in pieces. You got to set aside 30 minutes and do it, and then take a break and go do something else for a while and come back to it, because it's not the most fun thing in the world, but it's got to be done if you got to get better at it, right? BV just says the link doesn't work and you have not got ad blockers. It must be geographical. Yeah, it could be. I'm not worried about it. I'll figure it out. And like I said, it's probably a reason I can't go to Norms, because I shouldn't be. Live Wires says the Tone King is on. Yes, Tone King will be on Wednesday night. It's at 9 o'clock Eastern for the Live Wires. So if you're not subscribed to the Live Wires, definitely go and do that. They have a great show. I always enjoy it every week. I watch it. And they've got some great content. They're doing some great work there. And this week they're going to have the Tone King. Everybody knows the Tone King. Lewis is an awesome guy. So definitely check that out. Put that on your calendar. And, check it out. It should be a lot of fun. All right. Oh, sorry about that. See? I can't be trusted around these buttons and all this stuff, because, oh my God, that was... Anyway, that means it's about time to call it a night. I'm starting to lose my mind. But anyway, thanks everybody for joining me tonight. I hope you had fun. Next week, next Monday, same time, 7 o'clock, doing a pedal giveaway. It'll be the last show of the year, so I'll try to come up with some cool stuff. We'll do a cool jam as well. So get your guitars with you when we start out the show. You can jam along. I don't know what the jam will be. I'll figure that out this week. And I'll be working on a couple new videos probably this week because I want to release some stuff for the end of the year, more of a end of year recap, looking at the year and looking at the year ahead, what I want to be doing in 2020 and some of the projects that I'll probably be looking to take on. And so I'll be probably recording those videos probably this week, but they'll be released during Christmas time and so forth. So look for that. But again, important next week, if you're going to want to win that pedal, which will be an overdrive pedal, because that would be number one is what everybody seems to have put in the chat here. So that's what I'm going to go for. Check that out. You might win an overdrive pedal. You never know. Everybody needs an overdrive pedal or distortion or whatever it is that I come up with. It'll be some sort of drive pedal. Until next time, folks, be good, play a lot of guitar, and be safe out there if you're in some crappy weather. It's winter, unless you're Dr. Guitars Dave out there in Arizona, or if you live in California or something like that, you're lucky because winter sucks. All right, Brian S. Yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate you sending some shirts over for sure. And check out Ben's show. He's on now. And check out Phil Mosley at 9 o'clock. And have a great rest of the week. And if I do go live, maybe Thursday night or something, jump in. We'll have some fun. We'll do some cool stuff. And I'll answer some questions. And, we'll shoot the shit, like they say in Canada. They'd say that everywhere, I think. Anyway, peace, guys. Have a great one.